Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family, to the Paris Saint-Germain versus Inter Milan full game preview. And of the Champions League final, obviously, Paris Saint-Germain set to play Inter Milan at the Allianz Arena this Saturday, 31st of May, 2025-21, Central European time. And here are the cheeky time zones if you want to pause the video. Inter Milan are coming in with good form in the recent last 5 games, 4 victories and only 1 draw in those last 5 games. They obviously did not win the Scudetto despite winning their last game versus Como, and did not win the Supercoppa d'Italia nor the Coppa d'Italia. So they're coming into this game a bit desperate to finish off the season and cap it off in some of a great way. This is their predicted lineup with Jan Sommer in goal, defense consisting of Bisek, Acerbi, Bastoni, Di Marco and Dumfries, in midfield of Mkhitaryan, Hakan, Çalhanoğlu, Barella, and up top it's Marcus Thuram and Lautaro Martinez. And it's a great lineup from Inter Milan. I mean, this is the lineup that reached this Champions League final. Obviously, the only one I can think of is sometimes Martinez when he got injured, Taremi came in, DeMarco Augusto substitutions, Darmian sometimes comes on, you got the energy of Fratesi and Zelensky in midfield. But apart from that, this is the starting lineup that reaches Champions League final. You got Jan Sommer, he's been, impeccable for Inter Milan, and I mean, previously even by Mönchengladbach and Switzerland at, European competition. So it will be very tough to break Sommer down, even though we have Gonçalo Ramos, who scored a hat-trick against him in the World Cup. Bisek, Acerbi, Bastoni, great centre-back pairing. Also, we have to be aware on them on set pieces. Bisek, huge. Bastoni, huge. Acerbi, huge. Also, very good 1v1 defenders as well. Di Marco, Dumfries, basically wingers playing as fullbacks. Barella, Mkhitaryan, Hakan try to get the ball off them, and then Thuram and Martinez up top. I mean, it's a great lineup here from Inter Milan. I was to watch, maybe a bit surprising, but if you watch my tactical video, it would not be surprising. And that is Di Marco from Inter Milan. He's my ones to watch from this game, from Inter Milan. I do believe, because Hakimi pushes up a lot. We saw, Arsenal, both of their biggest chances in that first game came off that left when Hakimi pushed up. For both the Martinelli and the Trossard chance. And I mean, this is something that Inter Milan love to do. Ping a ball to Lautaro, find Di Marco on the out flank. And that's what they will be doing. I did not put Dumfries, he had 5 GA. He was more dangerous versus Barca. But maybe Barca's left side is weaker. Plus we have Nuno Mendes, who sits a bit deeper, more conservatively than Achraf Hakimi. So I think Di Marco, he'll be the guy I'm looking out for from this Inter Milan team. Moving on to Paris Saint-Germain. Our form basically the same, 4 victories and 1 defeat. We've obviously won the league, won the Trophée du Champion, won the Coupe de France, and all we got left now to complete one of the most special football years ever is the UEFA Champions League. And Paris Saint-Germain's predicted lineup is looking like this, with Gianluigi Donnarumma in goal, defense consisting of Nuno Pacho, Marquinhos, Hakimi, Vitinha, Neves, and Fabian Ruiz in midfield. Khvicha, Dembouz, and it seems like Luis Enrique is opting with Bradley Barcola in this Champions League final. Well, obviously, we saw Barcola versus Auxerre. I already started saying, does this mean Barcola is going to start the next 2 games? Well, he started the Coupe de France game. Most logically, will start the Champions League final. Gianluigi Donnarumma has been absolutely huge for Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League this season. Finally, having a season where he's carrying us as a goalkeeper, and he will have to do the same in this Champions League final. Marquinhos, potentially lost Champions League game at Paris Saint-Germain. It's a huge game. Marquinhos, you can do it. Pacho, he's shown us so many times this season that we can trust on him, that we can have belief and confidence in him. He was facing up Thuram, and I think out of any defender in the world, if someone can do a great job on Thuram, it's Willian Pacho of Ecuador. Nuno Mendes will be a bit more conservative, but he will be all out, defending Dumfries and attacking down that left-hand side. Hakimi, with his energy, with, his complete game, he will cause a lot of danger on that right-hand side and hopefully recover for whenever Inter Milan try to counterattack. That midfield has to do what it's been doing in the UCL this season: dictate, control the game, and make it easier for the defenders and for the attackers. And moving on to Khvicha, Kvaratskhelia, and Ousmane Dembélé, the 2 superstars of this Paris Saint-Germain team, both extremely humble, both no ego, but they know that today they got to put in their best possible performance ever. Ousmane Dembélé, unfortunately, got a small injury at the worst possible time, so he's not coming in with the absolute best fitness. But it was still a good game versus Rennes looking back at it, and he'll be definitely ready for this Champions League final with a potential Ballon d'Or on the line for Ousmane Dembélé in this game. Whereas Khvicha, I mean, he's been every single game is started in the UCL for us. He's been impeccable apart from Aston Villa away. And this Champions League final, I mean, it's made for him. He won't have to worry that much about Dumfries. That will be Nuno's job. So Khvicha will, have to focus on their right centre back, which is Bisek or something. And he's already played Inter before. So that's why my wants to watch for this Paris Saint-Germain game is going to be Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. Yeah, Dembouz, Khvicha. I'm taking Khvicha as my wants to watch. There's a high likelihood that Dembouz will score, but there's a high likelihood that Khvicha will have a better performance overall. Especially he has a different role. He's on the wing. It's easier to cook when you're on the wing than in the central areas and so on. So I think Khvicha will be my wants to watch from this Paris Saint-Germain team. And my prediction going into this game was actually before a 1-0. That's the feeling I was having. We're beaten. Arsenal 1-0, Liverpool 1-0. But I changed it to 2-1. I think Inter will score, but we'll get a double. 2-1 seems to be a fair scoreline. But I think we're going to win by a 1-goal margin. I think that's the most important thing. Either a 1-0, 2-1, or even a 3-2. But yeah, I guess I'm between 1-0 and 2-1. But I'm sticking with a 2-1 here to Paris Saint-Germain. Dembouz with a goal. Would love a goal for Khvicha, but I think he's going to cook without a goal. So let's say Dembouz and Bradley Barcola. Let's give it to Bradley Barcola. He obviously scored a brace in the Coupe de France final. So Dembouz and Barcola as the goal scorers. And for Inter Milan, I'm going to go with... Going to be some fraud, like Hakan penalty or something. Yeah, I'm going with that. Very similar to Dortmund versus Bayern Champions League final. Bayern scored first. Gundogan got a penalty. And then Robben at the end. Is that Dembouz? Is that Barcola? We'll have to wait and see. But that's been it for the Champions League preview between Paris Saint-Germain and Inter Milan. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Make sure to watch any other videos to keep the excitement of this big Champions League game. And as usual, allez, Paris.